Hi, my name is Sally Hunter, and this is my testimony. About 5 years ago, I was given the diagnosis of Graves' disease. It was pretty rough. That's a hard thing to deal with. I had several different medications, trial and error, trying to get it sorted out without any luck. About 2 years ago, I started having severe migraines. When they first started happening, they would bust the blood vessels in my eyes, and they were rough. At that point is when I started having every single day at least a headache, if not a migraine. And these were very debilitating. It was very hard to care for my children. It was just hard to do daily life activities. About a year ago, they finally diagnosed the migraines as basilarity migraines. And upon that diagnosis, they also discovered there was an osteoma, which is essentially a tumor on my head. And so since then I have been seeing a neurologist and getting treated. They had me on 2 different medications for the migraines. I was on medication for the Graves. Just a lot of pain, a lot of tiredness, and just pushing through everywhere I could. Slapping on a smile and making today work has been the last 5 years. I have stood on believing in healing and that God was going to heal me. For the past couple years, they've wanted to remove my thyroid, and I've refused that surgery because I know that God's restoring it. And then recently I had another scan done of my head, and then surgery was brought up about removing the tumor, and I quickly said no, because once again I just believed that God was taking care of it. So we had got called into a leaders meeting, and Pastor Sue and Pastor Chris told us that we were going to get the opportunity to go to Georgia. We knew what was going on there. We had seen what was happening down there and the miracles that were being performed, and how God was just showing out so big down there. That night we got in the truck in the parking lot, and immediately Chris turned to me and he said, you're going to get your healing. Like, it's coming. Your miracle's coming. And I said, I know. The night before I was packing to leave on that trip, I went over to the counter where I keep my medications, and I kind of got distracted and left that counter, and then I was packing some more, and I went back over there, and it's like God stood in my face and said, don't pack those, you're not going to need them. And I had to stand there for a minute and process. And I was like, okay, all right, I hear you. So by the time we get there, I am really expecting. I'm expecting, Chris is expecting, because as soon as we got that date, we just started praying so hard and believing so hard, and already thanking God in advance for what he was going to do, because I knew he was going to do it if I could get out of the way enough to let him do it. We walk into the water together as husband and wife, and they ask your name, why are you there, where'd you come from? And so I began telling them what was going on, and it was the most amazing thing. Pastor Marty prayed over us, spoke some words to us, actually ended up giving me a little word of prophecy of a gifting, and then he submerged us, and I did not come back up, I floated. And I remember I was resting on a sweet lady, and I could feel this intense pressure in the back of my head. And it's like I could move my arms, but I couldn't move my midsection. Like, I wanted to raise up, but I couldn't. It was almost as if somebody was pushing me from the front while they were pushing on the back of my head. But it was a really intense pressure on the back of my head. And she was so sweet and calm, and she said, just lay here and rest. And I said, okay. So a few moments passed by, and I tried to get up again, and she said, just rest. Just lay and rest. All the while I'm feeling this really intense pressure. But finally I got up and I leave the pool, and I'm wrecked because God he met me there. I was expecting to meet him, but it's almost like when you expect to walk into a party, but you just don't know what kind of party it's going to be. I was expecting to meet him there, but he really showed out. in the best possible way. Getting into that water was the first time that I had made it public. I had been dealing with all this, and a few people knew, but not everyone knew. And so it was the first time that I'd actually come out and spoke it publicly, where it was going to be on TV, where mass amounts of people would see it and hear it. And so I was, I guess, extremely vulnerable in that. Here we are, a month later. I'm not on any of my medications. I've not had a single even headache. I had headaches every single day. If it wasn't a migraine, it was at least a headache every single day. So from the night before we left on the trip until now, there's been no medication taken. Side effects are finito. They're gone. I feel great. I can legitimately smile, a real smile, and not be pushing through pain. I just encourage you to go expectantly, to be prayed up for yourself, to be honestly, truly believing that He not only can, but He will, and that you're worth it. And when you walk into those waters, just know He's there. He is absolutely 100% there. He gets the glory for all this, and I'm going to give it to Him every chance I get.